Joining me now is Republican Texas State Representative Wesley Virdell, who represents Kerr County, one of the hardest hit areas by the floods. And he also sits on the Texas State Joint Committee on Disaster Preparedness and Flooding, who held the hearing. So first, thank you very much for joining us. So many people want and need answers. But first, let's just start with how your community is doing. That was a pretty heartbreaking set of pieces of testimony to listen to.
Yeah. First, thanks for having me on. It was there are people that are suffering, and it's gonna last for a while, and hopefully we get rebuilt as quickly as possible. We know Texas Department of Emergency Management and FEMA and HUD and SBA and all of those folks are here right now trying to help us get back on our feet.
So, now that we're, in hindsight, getting more information about what was going on kind of behind the scenes in your county, what were some of your biggest takeaways from this hearing? Did you learn anything that could help prevent this from happening again? I mean, a lot of people have questions about the official who was off duty, was sick. So what did you make of that?
Yeah, in regards to that point, I think it's important that we make sure that people are delegated. So if you have somebody out sick that's in a critical position, that you do delegate somebody else. I've been on the ground since it started, and so it's a little tough. But so I haven't learned a whole lot since then, other than the real need for cell service and better radio communication. We were out there till 3 o'clock, after 3 o'clock in the morning after that flood, and there were officers who weren't able to communicate with each other because of the radio issues.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge part of it. And, God bless everybody who jumped in to help, because we know that Texas came together in ways that we reported straight on through for hours and hours watching what you guys were doing. And we know how hard it was, because it wasn't just people who live in your county, it's people that families and friends, and we know that. So we thank you for sharing. Yeah. I want to play a part of what you said during the hearing this week. Let's take a listen for our viewers.
I think it's important to note that the locals here who know this area better than anyone else in Texas aren't pointing fingers, and they know that this was an unprecedented flood of a magnitude that nobody had expected before.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say to people who want to place the blame on a specific person or department or, to the moment in the response to this tragic incident? You touched on it a little bit before the soundbite, but, it's important for people to have the full scope of what you guys were dealing with.
Yeah, there's a good example is there's a restaurant called the Lake House, and at the Lake House, that guy, Mark Armstrong, he says, hey, we've seen this river every day for 37 years, and nobody expected the water to come up to the magnitude it did. And so internally within the county, you don't see a lot of people pointing fingers, blaming the local elected officials over this. There are issues that we are trying to figure out and work through and find solutions to. But for the most part, you didn't see that. But we did have a lot of certain media groups coming in and just trying to point fingers at everybody. And that wasn't helpful to us, doing search and rescue and now recovery.
Right. I mean, and where are you guys with that right now? You said that it's still ongoing. Obviously, we see you there on the ground working this weekend. And what's so interesting, whenever we cover these types of tragedies, we go in as the media, we see what's happening, we're in it, we went there. But the reason why we're having you back is because we want to know what's going on, and we want to stay on this story. Because you guys have such a long road ahead of you. And to your point that, you guys are just trying to get things done. Some people are still looking to hold somebody accountable for the flood response. So how do you do that? How do you do both is the question.
Yeah, and I know you can't see it in the camera, but in front of me right now is the river, and I'm actually real close to where the last survivor was found, about 15 feet in a tree. And so there's still a lot of stuff going on here, but State Representative Ken King filed a bill to deal with radio communication, and so we'll be taking that bill up soon. I filed a bill. One of the issues we had, and we're grateful to a lot of volunteers coming in, but is contracts. Where are the contracts being given for the cleanup? So we filed a bill that puts preference on locals to be considered first for those contracts and for other goods also. And so we're hoping that bill will get heard soon and hopefully get past it. Unfortunately, it won't help here in the situation at this moment, but going forward, communities, we hope that will help retain money in the community to help recovery faster.
Well, I appreciate you bringing us up to speed, and we hope that you guys get that communication that you so desperately need. We've heard it before in other tragedies, and I hope that you guys get it. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Republican Texas State Representative Wesley Virdell, thanks a lot for being here. Hopefully you'll come back and give us another update, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.